Well, welcome. I'm Dr. Pompa, creator of the True Cellular Detox program, and I'm here with Warren Phillips, whose life changed from this program, which you're going to hear a little bit about. But I am very excited to bring you this program. Look, it changed our life, and we are very passionate about it. But I have to say this. You're in an office right there that really understands getting to the source, removing the cause, removing the interference, and the body does the healing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no doubt. Congratulations. But look, I think that the message here, because they've heard a lot most likely about removing subluxation, right? But they need to understand that there's chemical subluxation. I think this office probably talked to them about that. That's why they are watching this video. But I really want to make sure they understand the impact of that, but also of this program. So you're in the right place, I can assure you of that. But this is not just a program that we thought up out of the blue. This program literally started with my suffering and my story. So you're going to hear a lot of my story throughout this entire program because it really is what made this whole program real. And years ago, Warren, gosh, you actually came at the tail end of when I was actually getting my life back, and Warren came to me very sick. But like some of you watching this, I was living a very normal, healthy life, so I thought. And one day the bottom did fall out, and I became someone I didn't know, honestly. I became a doctor that wasn't able to help people anymore. I needed to help myself. I was also not the husband, that I was. I definitely wasn't the friend that I was. I became someone who I didn't know. And I had a lot of unexplainable symptoms. I had a lot of unexplainable things happening in my life that I really had no explanation for. And it started one day out of nowhere, honestly. And some people's, it doesn't start like that so abruptly, but mine sure did, where I just started developing fatigue. And it went from fatigue, where it turned into anxiety. It went from anxiety to where I wasn't sleeping at night, waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to get to sleep. I became allergic to my planet. I started not being able to digest foods anymore. I became allergic to chemicals. The list went on and on to even more bizarre. And you'll hear more as this goes on. And Warren, like so many, I thought it was my thyroid, which my thyroid was affected. I thought it was my adrenals because I couldn't adapt to stress anymore, like you.
Yep.
And honestly, I was actually at the peak level of my fitness. I was racing my bike at the time. I was an athlete. And actually, as it turned out, it was one of the extra stressors I probably didn't need. But I didn't have answers. I didn't have answers. And I have to fast forward and tell you, through a long, arduous times, very, very sick for 4 years, I would say, but it was longer, but very sick for 4 years. I have to say that God showed me a lot during that time, and that this program was built out of the things that I learned to get my life back. So I did find answers. And one of my pet peeves is that most that's out there in alternative health, it's not real.
No.
Now, I can look at the other side of it because, like many watching this, I went to, regular doctors, if you will. And most of them thought I was just nuts, I'm going to be honest with you, but they didn't understand.
They still do, Dr.
Yeah, no doubt, probably. That's true. But honestly, they really just wanted to give me medication. And because I was just, reared in an education of, get to the cause, don't chase the symptoms, I wouldn't do it. And my wife would tell you, there was probably times that I should have, because I had so much anxiety. I was so sensitive to even sound that I couldn't handle the babies crying. And I probably didn't tell you that I had 2 young babies at the time. So, life when I should have been at my best, and really was. I mean, I was really in my 30s and should have been the healthiest that I could. Life fell apart, unfortunately, instead. So, I had to find answers. And when I wasn't sleeping and I had to be able to focus because I had major brain fog most of the time, I would dig for answers. And really, I believe God led me to the answers that you're going to learn through this program. Warren, after I got well, I was, really doing a lot of writing about the things that made me sick. And you came and you started saying you were just moved back, actually. You were living
I was living in Montana at
Right,
the time.
Montana.
Yeah. Very
what
sick,
were you
very
doing
sick.
there, actually?
I was an environmental consultant, so I cleaned up hazardous waste for a living, Dr. Pompa. It was a real blessing, you know.
Yeah, real blessing. He was cleaning up
Well,
mercury oxide, actually.
It is a blessing because it led me to being able to support you guys and the same things that got your life back, got my life back, and the philosophy that your office lives by is remove the interference, the body does the healing.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, the chiropractic philosophy saved my life, and chiropractic adjustments saved my life.
Well, you know, I mean, Warren came back and he was sick, so I did. I started adjusting you, and you kept saying, do that again. I could, you know, it was taking away enough interference that you started feeling like, you know, I could function, and then you needed it again and again. You know, I knew what was wrong with Warren because I had the same symptoms. He wasn't sleeping, he was fatigued, he was brain fogged, he had anxiety.
Cold hands, cold feet,
cold
losing
hands, cold
hair,
feet,
you know,
right,
I mean,
yeah, it's all the
weight
same
gain.
stuff. Yeah.
I was 210 pounds.
Yeah, so
and we look really
out of
healthy,
nowhere.
but I'm 40 years old, but Dr. Pompa, I believe you're 50. You don't even look close to that.
Well, I'm healthier at 50 now than I was absolutely in my 30s, even my 20s, to be quite honest with you. So,
and many of you watching, that's what you want, and that's why you're at the office that you're at. And you are part of a certified true cellular detox office. These offices are screened. You have to be a high-level office and performer to even be a part of something like this, because this is very serious. This is very near and dear to Dr. Pompa's heart. He lost his life for it. I lost my life for it. I'm thankful for it now that I'm on the other side of it, that I can help others and support doctors around the country. But this is the real, real deal.
No doubt about it. You know, and I remember talking to you because I couldn't get him to understand that I knew it was wrong. He thought, it's just stress, it's just stress.
Yeah, just stress.
You moved homes, you know, these problems. You know, I knew the mercury was part of the problem. And you were living in a moldy home at the time. You actually even had a whiplash.
That was when really things started to go,
All three of those stressors typically come together when I hear the story that someone doesn't feel well. It's typically three stressors, what I call the perfect storm.
Yep.
You'll learn more about that, but that was your perfect storm. I knew that. So I started getting you to read certain things that I had wrote. And one day, Warren comes to me and said, hey man, this is me. I said, yeah. I know, I've been trying to tell you that.
Honestly, I'll just be honest with you, I thought chiropractors were out there. Like I was trained in the medical model, and my dad said, don't go to chiropractors. So I was very fearful. I thought you were on a side that didn't have the answers, but I have a master's degree in toxicology and chemistry, so he's handing me literature from peer-reviewed journals. I believe that. You know, I believe that information, and then that created the value for me to really start listening, getting the adjustments, giving me a few supplements to help me feel better, but it was truly true cellular detox that saved my life.
Yeah, and you'll hear my story. I mean, I knew that he had certain things that were mercury, and you know, and I had 2 amalgam fillings that contained 50% mercury, and I had them drilled out. I still had 6 or 7 others in my mouth, and that's when that bottom fell out of my life. And again, I had other stressors going down. I had my own perfect storm at that time, you know, and that led to here we are. You know, your source was different than mine. Your source is probably maybe different than ours, but ultimately, it still boiled down to chemical subluxation, meaning that, yes, we can get misaligned spines, and that interferes with that innate intelligence that heals the body. However, chemicals, actually the founding father of, you know, one of the founding fathers of chiropractic said this could be the bigger issue one day, is chemical subluxation. You know, chemicals that interfere with the nerve system that make us not feel well, and ultimately lead to disease, and ultimately lead to, you know, things that we don't like in our life. So, you know, that's where this was birthed from. And, you know, one of the pet peeves that I have is that we got our life back from going upstream to the source that affected the cell. And something that you're going to hear through this program again and again is if you don't fix the cell, you're never going to get well. You know, so I'll say it this way. If you don't detox the cell, you're never going to get well. That's how we got our lives back, you know, no doubt about it. I have a pet peeve because, like us, Warren, remember, we did, you know, we can all say we did colon cleanses, we did this cleanse, we did that cleanse. I tried everything to get my life back. I did. I'm telling you, I did it all. But it wasn't until I got to the cell, and I'm telling you, I am not smart enough, wise enough, whatever it is. Either of us aren't.
I agree.
We have degrees, you know, but I'm telling you, you know, the things that you're going to learn in this program, I'm telling you, they came through what God led me to, you know, in us too, because you were part of that process, you know, led us to that we really understand fully that detoxing the cell is the key.
I mean,
hence the word true cellular detox, because most detox is downstream, and you're going to see that in the program.
We're so passionate about this because, I mean, I can't explain to you, there's no way we can explain to you how sick we were. But every symptom that you may have had or have had, most of them we've had, you know, from not sleeping at night. I had no hope of ever getting married again. I couldn't adapt to stress, massive anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia type, you know, issues, pain, neck pain. You could get adjusted and it wouldn't go away because of the inflammation. I couldn't hold my adjustments.
Yeah.
And I was so sick. Went to the doctor, your blood work is normal. I still had all the symptoms. They try to put you on, the best they can do is put you on a psychotropic drug, which obviously isn't part of the chiropractic philosophy.
They tried to put me on one.
Yeah, so, I mean, we were called nuts, but you're part of an office that believes in you, that believes in true cellular detoxification to help you get your life back. This is key, guys, and I'm so excited to continue to share more about this program with you.
I know so many people. I know you are familiar with detox, and I think that most people watching this are like, look, yeah, we believe that we need to detox, you know,
Right.
and you know, we hear a lot of things. Chlorella, you know, that's the metal magnet, right? You know, I can promise you, I mean, we are both very scientific in our thinking and our minds. You know, we looked at chlorella. We worked with a laboratory. Yeah, it really didn't bind anything. I thought at least bound stuff in the gut. It didn't. You know, we hear about cilantro. I was almost checked into an insane asylum because cilantro moves things in and out of the brain.
Yeah, sulfur-bearing amino acids in there, and they move stuff around.
It stirs it up, right?
Yeah.
So people go to the health food store or a clinic, not like the one you're in, and they see the 10-day cleanse, right? And they take these herbal concoctions, right? And I love the analogy of the street cleaner, which I talk about in some future videos, and I did see one of these. These still exist.
There's one by my house, by the way.
Really?
Made a big dusty mess.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do, right? So you see the things going, right, and they look like they're doing something, but then you look around, there's this dust cloud, right? Most detox is that, honestly. It's just stirring it up. But the problem is this. Most of them don't work at best, right? But some of them, when they stir it up, the toxins cross into deeper tissue like the brain and the nervous system, and that's what heals your body, and that's where the danger is. You know, you'll see in this program, I talk about how these things are way downstream, but really no true detox. You have to get to the cell, you know, and that's what this program's about. You have to remove the sources. You have to get to the cell. In this program, we have many, many resources to assist you in this product. I promise you, you're going to become an expert, you know, in this process of true cellular detox. You are, because we really do a good job of educating you. We have the True Cellular Detox diet. Look, I say this all the time. The diet isn't what got me well, but without the right diet and lifestyle changes, I wouldn't have got well. So it plays a role. We even have an advanced section, advanced strategies for those, you know, elite clients that want to go to the next level and take it even further. So who is this for? Yes, we struggle to get our life back, but this is also for people like an athlete who wants to, a high performer who wants to be better. Maybe you're a CEO. Maybe you're just, I just want to feel my best. I feel good now. I want to feel better.
And maybe you didn't have a lot of those challenges, not a lot of toxicity. You were raised in a chiropractic lifestyle, and you really understand it. You eat all organic. You don't have amalgam fillings, you know, and you just want to go to the next level. As you reduce inflammation with True Cellular Detox, you can perform at a much, much higher level. So it's perfect for high performers.
You know why Warren keeps going this? Because I'm always drawing circles behind me. You'll see that. Hey, listen.
Go to the board.
I want to piggyback on that, because if you're out there and you think that, you know, maybe I don't need True Cellular Detox, I'll tell you, you're wrong. First of all, we grew up, well, I say we, I'm 50. You too, and even those out there. Listen, we grew up in the lead generation. It wasn't until 1978 that they actually outlawed lead. It was in everything. It was in our gasoline, our air. We were breathing it. It's estimated to take 4 generations to breed out the lead. Part of my story is that my wife ended up having many, many hormone problems. You know this because that's her cousin. That's Warren's cousin. And she had many hormone problems. We watched her mother struggle, who ended up dying of cancer, and that's a whole very long story. But we know that she had major lead issues that disrupted her hormones, and her mother died of a hormone-related cancer, and she never got to her source, even though I tried to get her there. She never got to the lead. My wife, with all these hormone challenges, we ended up testing her lead, and her lead was off the chart. Well, where did she get that? She actually got it from her mother. Oh, guess what? When my kids, who ate a perfect diet, adjusted, all these great things, started getting weird things, digestive problems, tested their lead, off the chart. My kids got it from my wife. Right. 4 generations. I believe the study. I lived it. But again, so not only did I have to get my life well and his, but I had to get my children well. And if that doesn't set it all up, well, after I got my life back, we actually adopted children. We had a tragic death in our family, which applied to you too, Warren, right?
Yeah.
And the boy, they lost their parents tragically, and it was a boy and a girl who were 7 at the time. And we inherited the children. They were willed to us, basically. And the boy he had some vaccine damage about age 4. I was at that time working with his mom, who life was too stressful. She wasn't able to really apply the things I was telling to help Dylan. But he ends up getting vaccine damage on the autism spectrum, sensory integration. Well, here my life is coming back, and I'm thinking, this is great. And then we get these 2 children. Life as I knew it came to another screeching halt, believe it or not. But really, I applied what I learned to get myself well to Dylan. And Dylan's a normal boy to this day. You wouldn't even know.
He's a great young man.
I would say out of my 5 children, I would say Dylan's my easiest. I always say that. But yeah, he's a great young man. But, I'm telling you, it was birth. And I said, if I just learned this information, to get Dylan's life back, it was worth it. But here we are, from pain to purpose, a greater purpose, bringing this information that we know the world needs to change lives. Lead, we grew up in the mercury generation. We all did. Amalgam fillings. Mercury they put in just about everything. They were putting it in contact lens fluid, which I didn't know, and I was using all the way through the 80s, early 90s. So we have all these exposures. Vaccines. How many vaccines are we giving our children loaded with mercury, even now? Aluminum, formaldehyde, all types of chemicals.
Teflon, personal care products.
Everybody needs True Cellular Detox. I still do it, even though I'm healthier now than when I was, in my 20s. I still do True Cellular Detox because you cannot avoid this epidemic of toxins, neurotoxins. I mean, arguably, if you compared our air to what was going on in the 20s when the air was black, the air's better, but what are we putting into ourselves? Cosmetics, right? Loaded with chemicals that's absorbing right in, endocrine disruptors. People can't lose weight today, which we call weight loss resistance. Watch that video. It's not about necessarily what you eat, right? How much you exercise. Matter of fact, you'll see an interview of a young lady who ate perfect, exercised perfect, couldn't lose weight, still wasn't getting her life back. It's about the toxins at the cell. That's the big issue. That's why people can't lose weight today. That's the epidemic of thyroid problems, diabetes. It's estimated that at least 30%, 35% of diabetes is toxin related. I think it's way more than that. I think it's up to 80%. Hormone resistance, you're going to learn this in this program, is an epidemic, but it's being driven by toxins at the cell.
Well, what you're going to see here, I think just as you're sharing your heart, Dr. Pompa, how much you suffered to get this information all the way around the board, and I'm thankful for that. I mean, literally, just so you know, this guy brought me into his home for 9 months. There's some funny stories there, because he put me in with some carpet, but maybe I'll share that story later, newer carpet. But I got my life back, and he took care of me, fed me organic, and it transformed my life. But you're part of something that isn't just a detox program. It is you can see, it's a movement. It's something, you're an elite office that truly understands that this needs to happen every day, all day. This is an education. We're going to teach them, this is what you've trained me, Dr. Pompa, we're going to teach them what they need to do to take their life to the next level or to get their life back. That's what True Cellular Detox does.
No doubt. Look, you're going to have a lot of questions through the program. And we have answers and resources and question and answers. A Q&A. Yeah, True Cellular Detox Q&A. The office that you're in is going to be able to answer a lot of those questions. The certified True Cellular Detox expert in that office is going to help you as well. So, and look, there's many tests that are going to show something called cellular inflammation that you're going to learn about that you need. This program offers that. And look, my promise to you is this. You commit to everything that we teach you in this program, and your life's going to change, no doubt about it.
Welcome to your journey in True Cellular Detox.